talking about our latest medical therapeutic device, EMS, which stands for Electromuscle Stimulator Body Change. And that's our latest product of G-COOP. So for those who have already tried the device will agree with me that it's out of this world. I'm not exaggerating in any way. Okay, you really got to try it firsthand, and you will then nod your head with agreement. As always, words are cheap, they say, and it's so true. And there's so much you can say and explain, but truthfully, there's no other way to express it other than trying it. All right. So the body change has been approved by the Ministry of Food and Drug Safety as Class 3 medical device in Korea, and also registered as a medical device by the US FDA as well. And for those who's not familiar with Class 3, it's a device recognized under the classification system of the International Electrotechnical Commission, which stands for IEC. Class 3 indicates that it has been put in place to manage risk and assure patients, doctors, and manufacturers that the device will operate safely and effectively. So, for those who are skeptical of the safety of the device, be rest assured that it has gone through many channels, including hospitals, to ensure the safety of the device. Okay, all right. So let's be honest with ourselves. We haven't paid too much about core muscles, right? That's why we're here to learn something that we've been neglecting all along, or we're just plain lazy. The benefit of having strong core muscles will take us a long way towards senior years. So for today, I'll just mention 5 reasons why it's important to have strong core muscles. Wow, look at those muscles. I'd like to borrow some. So why is it important to have strong core muscles? First, we can battle back pain, especially in the lower back, which affects a great number of people today. And this is mostly due to our sedentary lifestyle. We sit in front of computers, hunched over during the day, and we sit long hours on that soft, nice, cushy couches in the evening. Does that sound familiar? Second is to prevent injury. A weak core can do damages, such as we get injured while moving some furniture or doing some work in your garden, picking up a package, or putting your shoes on, or simply sitting behind a desk and so forth. So unless we have a strong core muscles, we need to keep those midsection part of our body strong. The third is to improve our balance and stability. And in order to have good posture, muscles in our pelvis, hips, lower back, abdomen, and many others must work in perfect harmony. And the fourth is to achieve good posture. And if you see anyone slouching, hunched forward, it is safe to say that they have weak core muscles. Reasons why elderly people walk hunched forward is because they have weak core muscles. So remember, having a good posture does not only make you look healthier, but it also eases pressure on the spine and allows you to breathe properly. Did you know that? And lastly, we need core exercises to be fit and healthy, which means to incorporate some midsection exercises in our everyday routine. So now we know why it is important to have strong core muscles. You will wonder why I'm mentioning so much about muscles right now. Well, it's only because if you don't fully understand the importance of strengthening our muscles, not only are you missing out in a big way, but it's primarily to prepare the groundwork for the product that I'm about to introduce to you very soon. So bear with me, and we'll quickly go over a crash course about muscles first, okay? So what's a muscle? It's a group of muscle tissues which contract together to produce a force. A muscle consists of many muscle tissues bundled together, and in the muscular system, muscle tissue is categorized in 3 distinctive types, and they are skeletal, cardiac, and smooth. Skeletal's function is primarily protecting organs in our body, and it's attached to bones and around air entry and exit sites of our body, such as mouth and anus. Okay? Cardiac muscle tissues controls vital organs such as the heart and lungs, and allows us to not have to focus on pumping our heart each time it needs to beat, and it's located in the heart. And the third muscle tissue, which is smooth, also referred to as visceral, which means internal, basically. And this muscle is almost everywhere in our body, and it aids in everything from circulation to digestion and regulates flow of blood in arteries by contraction. And it's located in the walls of major organs and passageways in our body. And here, what I was driving at, which is a muscle that's hidden in our body, called the smooth visceral muscles. These muscles are composed of heart, stomach, bladder, blood vessels, and are closely related to aging. As we get older, muscles get weaker, and not only the internal muscles, but also the general muscles. So, however, general muscles are developed through exercise, but internal muscles cannot be strengthened through exercise because they cannot move at will and move unconsciously. So here's an illustration for easy understanding. Normal people have 60 to 100 pulses, but marathon runners have 40 to 50. And this is because in the case of marathon runners, the heart muscle is strengthened through regular exercise, so it can release blood with a small pulse rate. So bottom line, not to scare you, it's said that if the internal muscles are damaged, it has fatal effect on our overall health. So we need to pay attention to our internal muscles and slow down the aging process. Once upon a time, we all had round apple-like hips. But over time, that once firm round hip starts to sag. Not only its firmness, but it droops with wrinkles. As we age, hip muscles are very important. A lot of times we see elderly people walking hunched forward. Why? Because it's due to the weight to lift up the upper body. So that's why it's important and necessary to maintain those hip muscles. Here's an illustration. When we think of sumo wrestlers, we automatically think that it's their upper body strength to knock down the opponent down, right? But it's actually the hip strength. So here's the thing. If you strengthen your hip muscles, your stomach muscles get stronger as well. G-Coop's body change to the rescue. But let me be clear now. A lot of times we introduce this device as a device primarily for middle-aged women for their urinary incontinence, which is true by all means. But unknowingly, we are limiting the usage of the body change. We need to know that it's just part of the result that after using the body change, treatment of urinary incontinence is automatic because of the powerful Kegel exercise. So the emphasis that I'm making is that it's a device for broader usage. Body change is an EMS, like I said, electromuscle stimulation device. It's a cutting-edge technology that utilizes signals triggering physiological activity to exercise the muscles in steady, rhythmic, electric pulses that result in cycles of contraction and relaxation. This natural stimulation strengthens, tones, tightens, and works your entire muscle system from a typical workout. Doesn't that sound great? Body change applies electrical stimulation in treating muscle spasms, pain, and also, again, happens to treat urinary incontinence as a result of using it, as mentioned earlier. So again, body change is not limited to urinary incontinence only, but it's a natural outcome as you use the device among many other beneficial results. The device is non-penetrative, hygienic, and safe. It sends electrical signals through the nerves to the brain, which helps release endorphins and block pain signals. So basically, Body Change is a therapeutic massager that performs like the Kegel exercises for both men and women, and it strengthens the prostate through stimulation of the prostate. And with the EMS stimulation, it strengthens our core muscles as well, as I mentioned about the importance of that core muscles, right? Again, let me remind you, 70% of muscles are actually in our thigh and hip area. So by sitting on the Body Change device for 30 minutes a day, it'll strengthen your hip muscles and thighs as well. And listen to this. It also improves twisted pelvis. And there's a great testimony about a person who used a Body Change for distorted pelvis, but fixed it after a month use of the device. Testimonies are actually coming from real people with real experiences. Not too far recently, I've listened to one of the videotapes that from Korea, that this elderly woman who was actually losing all of her muscles on her thighs, and she was so weak and her thighs were so thin that she had to sit in a wheelchair. And after using the Body Change, her thigh muscles came about, and she was able to walk. And that's a real life testimony, I think. Okay. So again, do not take this lightly, because Body Change is a muscle exerciser, and it has been certified by the Korean Sports Promotion Foundation about the effects of actual aerobic exercise. The Body Change comes with a belt to relieve back pain, as it strengthens the back muscles and waist reduction as well. The belt comes with 2 sets of hydrogel pads. There are 4 reusable pads in a set. You will need to attach the pads onto the belt and then put it around your waist. Okay? After you have selected the desired level, then the belt will operate and massage with pulsing sensation. And with this pulsing movement, it firms and strengthens muscles of your lower back with powerful EMS exercise. And as it operates, your stomach doesn't move, but instead your inner side of your stomach is being stimulated as it contracts and relaxes repeatedly. So the beauty of this belt is that it works within, in other words. It builds up the muscle inside and makes it firm. So if you happen to use it for an hour, you'll feel the tightness of your tummy the next day. Of course, it all depends on the desired level. EMS has been known to be favored by sports people when they're injured. So it was developed for that purpose originally, to exercise their muscles during their recuperation. It has been said that EMS produces 16 times more effect than the regular exercise. So no wonder the sports people favor the EMS. So our Body Change has the same similar concept along with diet effect as well. So let's go over with the product overview. And this is just a quick overview, which will come with a manual, but I'll just go over it very quickly. G-Coupe Body Change comes in a box with the main device, waist belt, 2 sets of reusable hydrogel pads. As I said, 1 set consists of 4 pads. And it comes with cables, charger, and an instructional manual. And listed below are some basic instructions and storage information. So here's a quick rundown. After using the device, you need to wipe the device, obviously, with a dry cloth, and you store it in a place, making sure that the device is not tilted in any way to prevent from falling or to avoid any shock. Okay. And as a common sense, do not store it near any electrical or gassy areas. If the device has been stored away for an extended period of time, make sure to check if it's clean and operational. Advantages of Body Changes. It's so simple and convenient that you can use it while watching TV or reading. And you should place the device on a stable chair. And I'd rather shy away from that soft, couch. But then it's your preference. I'll leave it at that. before sitting down, because the device is a low voltage electric current stimulation therapy. It works only when it's wet. Okay, remember that. It works only when it's wet. So please make sure you put wet wipes. For instance, 2 G-Coups wet wipes is perfect. That'll do the job, I tell you. Or a wet, thin napkin if you prefer. And we recommend wearing a thin clothing before sitting down on the device. But you know what? I discovered it works best if you just wear your underpants with just your undies, okay? But then it's up to your personal choice whether to wear something light or not. I recently encountered actually a feedback that someone, I don't want to mention who, didn't like the fact that you had to sit on a wet device and was afraid of catching cold. Well, what can I say? It doesn't really sound too inviting, right? But fear not. With Body Change, the minute you sit down on a wet tissue or a napkin, it'll be a matter of minutes where you won't even feel anything wet. Seriously. And besides, if you find yourself cold, you can easily cover your thighs and legs with a light blanket. So now you must be curious to know how it feels, right? Well, I'm speechless. I really don't know how to express it except that it feels rejuvenating, sensational, vibrant, leaving you with unbelief. And this is coming from me, okay? Because I tried it. It feels as if your inner muscles are being shuffled and awakened from a deep sleep, especially for a person like me who hates to exercise. I hate exercising. This was a delightful eye-opener. And just to, quench your thirst, remember, everyone will experience differently, I'm sure. But today, I'll share my own experience with you. I felt 3 types of electro movements, okay? 2 motions were different, pulsing modes. And the third was the tremoring sensation, which I enjoyed the best as it contracts and relaxes. And these motions repeatedly alternate for 30 minutes. Wow. I didn't want it to stop. I could feel that it was working within and the machine is exercising for you. What more do you want? So I'm telling you, going forward, Body Change will be utilized every day and will be included in my daily routine. And I thank G-Coup for saving a lazy person like me when it comes to exercising. It has 99 levels of powerful EMS exercise function, and it's rechargeable. And in my case, I started at level 30 and then raised it up to 35. And again, each individual's level will differ according to your body and condition. So just bear that in mind. As a reminder, it's advisable to start at a lower level rather than a high level right off the bat, okay? You can always work your way up, and it's compact and convenient for easy storage. And another thing, the Body Change was not made for a foot massage originally, but over the course, it was transformed into a foot massager as well. You put your feet on the device. Remember, always a wet tissue on top of the device before using it, okay? And then you'll get the massage effect through EMS as it contracts and relaxes, and your calf muscles get relaxed and helps with your blood circulation. So for those who experience foot cramps during the night, especially for older people, this device will give you positive results. Shown on the screen are a few certifications that Body Change has received in Korea, among many others. G-Coup has always been and always will be mindful of safety measures before it reaches to consumers. So be rest assured that whichever G-Coup products are concerned, proper documentations and certifications have been conducted in a proper way. As indicated, Body Change has been registered as a medical device by the US FDA. In addition, certificate of GMP from the Ministry of Food and Drug Safety in South Korea, along with National Fitness Award and cardiovascular exercise effects. Time to learn how it works. And let's start with the hip muscles. In a fancier word, it's called gluteal exercise. And you've heard about glutes, right? Glutes, which are the large muscles of your butt. But before I continue, I may sound as if I'm just ramming it down your throat and you may not remember everything right away. But trust me, once you get hold of the device, you will easily follow as it comes with the instruction manual. Remember that I had mentioned that you need to put wet wipes or napkin before using body change. So just make sure, again, I have to emphasize this, that you need to put a wet wipes or a wet thin paper or a wet paper towel and wear light clothing before you Okay. Am I talking too loud? Okay, I'll try my best. I have a loud voice. First, you need to press the power button on the device itself or on the remote control. As you see on the screen, it's on the upper left hand. Next, you need to press the P for program and set it to 8. And for your information, the device is already set at 8 as a default, and the duration time automatically appears next to it, showing at 30. So after 30 minutes, the device shuts off automatically. But just in case, if you don't see the number 8 on the device or on the remote control, press P and set it to 8. Okay? And afterwards, after the P, press the plus button, and that's your level of intensity. And you have to select your level of intensity. And we suggest beginning at level 20. But then again, it depends on each individual choice. And some may start at 30, for instance, okay, like me. The other way to know your level is to sit on it and you try it first at 20 or up to 25. And you feel if you can go up a bit more, you can then raise the number to 30 and onwards, and make sure you do not overdo it. Otherwise, you will feel achy the next day, just like a bodily action, reaction after vigorous exercise. So having said that, in my opinion, again, it's always a good practice to start at a lower level and work your way up instead of starting off at a higher level. Next is the core exercise using the waist belt. First, as mentioned, the body change comes with a waist belt designed with Velcro straps. So once you put it around the waist, you can control the preferred tightness to your own liking. And it comes with 2 sets of reusable gel pads, and there are 4 gel pads in a set. These gel pads have 2 transparent plastic covers on each side. So once you open the waist belt and look in the inner side, you will see 2 white oval horizontal circles in the middle of the belt and 2 diagonal oval circles on each side. The circles are where you're going to stick the gel pads. You will need to first remove the plastic cover from the gel pads and attach it to the nodes on the belt, and then take the other plastic cover off to stick it to your waist when you're ready to use it. Next are the cable wire connections, and face the belt showing body change, and you will see 4 snap buttons, 2 on the left and 2 on the right side of the belt. And there will be 4 cable wires, 2 red and 2 white. And you will notice there is a small number on one of the wires mentioning number 1 on one of the red ones and number 3 on one of the white ones. And make sure you look closely because it's quite hidden. And you can easily miss it because it's not on the colored cap portion, but literally right beneath the cap on the wire. I had a hard time finding it myself, so you got to be patient, okay? Once you found it, you just snap the red number 1 to the left side of the belt along with the other wire cable, and you do the same with the white cable wire as well. You snap the white number 3 on the right side of the belt first, and then the remaining white one next to it. So all in all, you should be seeing the 2 red on wire cables on the left side and the 2 white cables on the right side connected to the belt. And look at the screen Number 2, it's always easier if you use it and see it, okay? Afterwards, you must now connect the cable to the body change device, and you cannot miss it. You will see a red opening on the right side of the device, and this is where you plug in the cable. And just make sure you connect the cable with the arrow facing up. Now, time to put the belt around your bare waist, which works better. Remember, you need to remove that transparent plastic cover before placing it to your waist. Another reminder, do not throw away the plastic cover, since you will need to cover the gel pads after you've finished using the belt. So don't throw it away. It's reusable pads, so you need to make sure you cover them until you use it the next time. I wanted to go over some precautions with regard to the belt connector. For easy reference, look at the screen. You will see the belt connector, which needs to be inserted into the body change device. Again, I must emphasize that you make sure to follow the arrow and align it correctly before inserting it into the connecting port. And pay attention when you unplug it. Make sure you hold on to the arrow portion rather than the wire itself, and pull it out slowly rather than jerking it out, okay? As with any device, please handle it with care, and if not, you can damage the port as seen on the screen. Now, all set and done, time to use the belt. You first press the power button on the device, then press P for the program, which will set it to 3 for belt use. And if you happen to use the remote control, it's quite simple. But for time restraint, I'm not going to go into the remote control part today. After number 3 has been set, you need to press the plus button to set your desired level of intensity, just like the hip exercise. Once the level has been set, the program will appear as 33. And for the hip muscles, remember, time is set at 30, but for belt, it's set at 33. The 33 means that the first 3 minutes is the warming up time, so be patient if you don't feel anything. Also, as a cautionary measure, do not use high intensity setting during the warm-up period. And here are the instructions and common sense precautions when using the body change. Even if the device is not in use, the battery is still in use, so you need to charge the device prior using it. And it takes 4 hours for the battery to be charged fully. And a green blinking light will lit up while it's charging, and then a single green light if it's fully charged. After the device is fully charged, the device can operate for 1 hour only, but then you have the alternative to use it while it's connected to the charger. And that's how I use it, while it's connected. As for instructions regarding the belt now, the belt will operate for up to 1 hour after a full charge. If the belt is not fully charged, or if you try to run the program 2 or more times, the device may shut down due to power consumption. So it's that sensitive. So we recommend that you connect the charger to the device when using the belt. As for the remote control, the power button works on the device, so just ignore what's on the screen where it says the remote does not power on the device. It works, okay? So lastly, as a precautionary measure and a common sense approach, if you have a pacemaker or any metal implants in your body, do not use body change. And if you're sick or a cancer patient, you shouldn't use the body change. And if you're pregnant or advised not to exercise for some reason, you should stay away from the body change. And this device should be used only from bottom down, not chest upwards. Remember, this is a medical treatment device, so if you're currently diagnosed with any kind of disease, you must consult with your doctor. So who will benefit using our G-Group body change? First set of people that comes to my mind is those fragile people lying in the hospital beds for a long period of time, and those who are not stable when they walk. Especially, it's highly recommendable for elderly people, anywhere from 50 and beyond. And those who need to walk or want or to have the need to strengthen their core muscles, especially those hip muscles. And while doing so, you get to treat your urinary incontinence at the same time. And those who want to relax muscles and at the same time have the effect of reducing your waist size. And those who are suffering from back pain, as well as the tailbone pain, which we pretty much all experience from sitting down for a long time. And it's also very beneficial who overuse your lower back due to excessive activities, and ultimately to strengthen our hip muscles. Then here's my personal highlights on our G Coupe body change device. I have quickly 7. 1, being able to do Kegel exercise without any difficulty, and trying to do it on your own is almost impossible. So by just sitting down and getting treated for UI is a double bonus. 2, 30-minute exercise is equivalent to 6 hours of workout. Isn't that a winner? 3, 3-in-1 device, treatment for UI, abdominal workout, and a hip exercise. I like that. 4, muscle growth is possible without the occurrence of free radicals. And how about that? 4, no side effect or injury whatsoever, and that's cool. 6, I can use it whenever I want to at home, so it's super hygienic, and that's great. 7, easy to use, so most likely I'll be using it more often than not. Finally, as mentioned earlier, I can do something about exercise. A quick customer service information. If you have any inquiries regarding the body change, please feel free to contact our G Coupe USA branch in our Los Angeles office at info.us@gcoupe.com. The body change has a warranty of 1 year from the date of purchase. So that wraps up the education today on our EMS G Coupe body change, and I hope it was helpful in some way, and I hope my loud voice wasn't annoying, okay? So thank you, everyone, and see you next month for another product education. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for listening to the lecture.